welcome to the show. It is Friday the 25th of July, and this is episode 277 of the ProSynth Network live show. Welcome along. I hope you've had a great week since we were last here, and the weather over here has definitely got a little bit warmer again, so we're right in the middle of summer, which is good. I've now got some time off from the day job, so I can do some other things, but it's all been a bit stressful here just lately. But none of that concerns you or should bother you at all. We're here to kind of talk through 2 hours. That's our limit of discussion around music technology. That's what we do, and it's a slow news week again, I'm afraid, guys and girls. So we've got some interesting discussion topics that have kind of surfaced over the week, and inspired by various little things. We have got a couple of bits of news, nothing much. We're still waiting for Kent to drop in, but he will have probably just been pinged by his message that the show has started. So he's now running upstairs and turning everything on, and I'm sure he'll be with us in a couple of minutes. Bless him. So before we do all that, and whilst we wait for his lordship to arrive, I suppose we better go through the housekeeping stuff. So if you haven't already, please do give us a like, a comment, a subscribe, and of course share us around. Give us a thumbs up during the show. Apparently that really does make a difference. And if you want to comment, depending on the platform you're talking or watching us on, shall I say, you can comment on YouTube, you can comment on Facebook, and you can also comment on Twitch, where we're broadcasting across those 3 platforms. And you can comment even after the show. We do like to read your comments after, so you can just throw some comments in underneath, and we love to read those, and we'll respond if necessary, if required. Give us a subscribe. That's the only way you can get to be told when we do our shows, which of course are generally the same time every week. But you never know, we might throw a curveball in there and you might miss it. So give us a subscribe. It costs you nothing, and it means everything to us. And of course, if you know somebody who would enjoy watching this show, then tell them and share the link, and let's grow this community even wider than it already is. We are a community-based show for the community. We run for them, by them, etc., etc. So we're not a business. We rely on your donations. You don't have to. You're not obliged to. We don't punish anyone that doesn't donate. But if you want to donate, we like to try and give something back. And of course, the best way to donate and get something back is to give us I can't even talk, subscription over at patreon.com. So it's patreon.com/ProSynth Network. And you get loads of stuff in return for a minimum of $2 a month. You will get exclusive video content, exclusive sound content, such as patches for your synthesizers, hardware or software. We've got some new decent sampler instruments. So Decent Sampler is a great free sampler, and we've got some instruments courtesy of Jer Hughes over at Custom Sonics. He sent me a new one, or a new package. It's not a Decent Sampler package, it's a set of impulse responses, and I will try and get those up, although it might be about a week or so before I do. But stay tuned, they will be coming to the Patreon page very soon, and you can download those, of course, if you are a subscriber. You can also get those if you are a subscriber on the YouTube channel, so become a YouTube member. And again, you just pay a minimum to US, and you get all of that stuff for free as well. So some great ways to support us. You get something, we get something, and we all can feel warm and cuddly because we keep going. So that's that. Of course, you can also support us over at our merchandise store, ProSynthNetworkShop.fourthwall.com. You can get t-shirts like this, and all sorts of wild and crazy things, dog collars, drinks glasses, water bottles like this, which are really superb. You can buy coasters as well to put those water bottles on, badges, stickers, all sorts of stuff. And again, we are able to take a little bit off the top of each sale, and that just helps the channel keep going. So there we go, that's the merchandise store. If you've got a question during the show, make sure you stick a big capital Q in front of it so that we can see it in the chat. I hope we've got some moderators in there. We've been a little bit light on the moderator front just recently because of people working or being away on holiday and stuff. So I will check the chat shortly to see if we've got anyone in there. It's usually Andy Synth Addict, Andy Brooks, and Ben from Musings. So we haven't seen Ben for a little while. I hope he's okay. Anyway, you can also follow us over on all of the socials: YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, Twitch, Instagram, Threads, and even TikTok. At ProSynth Network is the handle. That's all you've got to do to follow us there. Facebook is the most important one. And can I just reiterate, because we had a couple more this week, if you haven't joined us in the Facebook group, please do come and join us. Hit the join button and you will be asked 3 questions, 3 very simple questions to prove that you're not a bot. That's basically all it is. So they're very simple. They're not personal. They're not intrusive. You just have to simply answer those 3 questions. And we'll let you in. Simple as that. We've got a couple of people hanging in there because they still haven't answered the questions. And unfortunately, after about a week of waiting, we just kind of politely decline them and say, sorry, didn't answer the question, so please try again. And some do, some don't. And it obviously does filter out some of the rubbish. So just remember, answer the questions and then you'll get straight in and you can participate. Don't also forget that we do have a feature on the show. It's not so regular. I was getting a bit carried away because it really was doing very, very well. And it's gone a little quiet of late. And I think that maybe that's down to the holiday season. But we call it Synthspirations, and we ask you to tell us the stuff that inspired you to get into all of this. Tell you what, let's run the trailer. We want to know what music inspired you to make music with synthesizers. Be it an album, single, or an entire artist's body of work, we want you to tell us why it inspired you, and given that we're a synth show, which instruments used on that album really made an impact. All you need to do is film yourself talking about your synthspiration for a few minutes and we'll feature it on the show and discuss it. Send your video clips along with your name or handle to prosynthnetwork@gmail.com using a file sharing service like WeTransfer, and you could feature on a ProSynth Network live show soon. It's true, you can, so please do send. We've had so many brilliant submissions. In fact, we've had every single one has been absolutely brilliant, and we haven't had a bad one yet. So there's a challenge. See if you can make the worst inspirations video that you've ever seen.
I'll do that.
Please do. Yeah, well, we'll rely on it. Yeah, please do. Send us in your synthspirations and we'll feature them on the show. And maybe we should start thinking of giving people a prize, like they used to do on the old TV in the 1970s. If your picture was featured on Vision On, didn't you get something like a book token or something? Maybe we'll come up with something. I don't know. Just to encourage you.
A power boat, a speed boat.
Yeah, or a caravan.
And here, we could have won.
Yeah. Bully special prize. Anyway, let's move on. You heard all these disjointed voices in the background. Let's bring them in. Of course, we have the one and only Mr. Andrew Longhurst. Welcome, sir. How are you? What the hell's that in the background?
Yeah, no, I'm okay, except that I've realised why my audio was quiet when we were starting the show. Everyone's going, turn up, what's going on? Windows drivers. So just tell me, is it too hot now? Because I can turn it back down.
It's a little bit, yeah.
Turn it back down. How's that?
Yeah, that's good.
How's that? Good?
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
Hurrah! Hurrah, right. Audio sorted out with my ad and my SM all together. There we go. Blimey. Yes, what a week. It's got very, very warm, hasn't it?
It has. It has indeed.
It has got very, very... Go on.
No, as I say, which is good.
It is good, and it's been a busy week. I was doing lots of sound design last week. This week I got stuck with a video edit, but I'm back into sound design mode from tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. And I was looking forward to going away a week or so ago, but didn't happen. It may do in a couple of weeks. Is anyone else we know going away at any point?
I'm not going anywhere.
Good.
Yeah. I've got 2 weeks off work. Don't know whether I'm going anywhere or not.
That's probably... Yeah, no, that's a good thing not to go. Well done, that man. And have we... I know last week you announced that we would have some other sort of guest presenters coming in from time to time. I mean, it'd be good to hear from Kent, because he never comes in. Is Kent here? Is he a guest?
I don't know, but Swan Vestas has sent in their representative. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Not good.
No?
Not good. No.
What's
The acid reflux
no.
come back. I haven't slept since Wednesday. Right?
Jeez.
Oh, shizer.
And I go, all right, I'm going to be early today. So I come up, set up all the computer, turned everything on, and dozed off.
I told you he was asleep. I said he was asleep.
And then sort of like, and it's like, it's 3 minutes past, and I'm going, oh, thanks. So, yes. So, oh, mate.
Other than that, oh well.
Everything's spiffing.
Did you get all of
Absolutely
those
spiffing.
synths fixed?
No. I mean, I was already sort of like a bit woolly because of through the weekend with the acid reflux stuff as well, and I started to find myself doing incredibly stupid things to these synthesizers. And I'm going to break something really bad in a minute if I do anything more stupid, so I stopped, which I think was probably the best thing to do. I mean, today I gave the guy the wrong synth. So,
What?
Was it an upgrade or a downgrade?
Oh, it was another one, an exact same one, but it wasn't his one.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's sort of like halfway down the road going, hang on, this isn't my Moog source. So he come back, he goes, this isn't my Moog source. I went, well, it must be, because, oh, wait a minute, there is another one here, hang on. And I went, is this your one? He went, yeah, they look the same, basically, but...
Well,
so,
yeah.
but anyway,
Did you fix the right one?
I fixed both of them.
Is it a
So
bit
it didn't
like
matter.
when doctors go to operate on someone and they get the wrong knee?
Yes.
Or they choose the left
Yeah,
testicle and not the right testicle.
where the surgeon's assistant marks the wrong knee or something, they come in and go, I thought it was the other knee. Oh, well. So, but a big shout out to Homegrown.
Oh, yes, Steve.
For
I'm some crap.
he sent me and there's a crap and you're not on the back. And also he sent a card for Fiona with words of encouragement and his phone number, and if she needs advice about using the Carbera CNC, get her confidence up again. So I thought so big thank you goes out to him.
Nice one.
But,
Yes, he's a lovely guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is a lovely guy. Absolutely.
I don't know if he's in the chat. I know he can be a busy guy.
Mm.
But yeah, nice one. Excellent. Well, welcome. Good to have you. Good to see you back. And,
I'll try and stay awake.
Yeah, if you can, that would be fantastic. Now, last week we were joined by two guest presenters, and the idea is going to be that those guest presenters join us periodically, and we're looking maybe at rotating them. But we thought we'd just kind of bring them both in because we were short on news and we needed people to talk to kind of spread the length of the show. This week we've got one of them back, not because the other one was rubbish, because he wasn't, and he's just very busy, and so he couldn't make it this week. But we did ask him, but he's otherwise engaged. So we've brought all the way from up north somewhere, over Hadrian's Wall and in the distance. It's the one and the only Mr. Scott McAuley.
Yay!
hello.
He
How
is
you
bigger,
doing?
so it's better value for money.
This is true.
That's true. Yeah, you get more for your buck, Kent. That's
Absolutely,
right,
darling. Absolutely.
Yeah. How are you, sir? It's been a minute, a week.
Yeah, it's been a bit steady a week away for me again. Not today, but Shona's got the wife's got some time off just now, so
Cool.
we headed through to Anstruther down to the harbour down there and had proper fish and chips today down at the beach. So. And it actually turned out to be quite a nice day. It was dry and warm, and the sun was breaking through every so often, but very, very humid here just now. I don't know how it is down by you guys, but very, very hot. It's been a good summer, actually.
It's not been bad, has it? No, we went down to because we're in East Anglia, and we went across to Southwold, which is a very nice, slightly less commercialised thing, and we did exactly the same. Proper fish and chips by the sea. Fending off the seagulls and the wasps. Can't get better than that, really.
Yeah. Very good.
We find you in your studio. Have you been making any new sounds for new or pre-existing?
I'm on to the OBX8 just now, which I started I think before Christmas time actually, but there was quite a few OBX8 banks came out just as I was looking at finishing this one. So I put it on the back burner. So I'm just about done with that one. It was kind of gave me a bit of a head start, which was good. To go back to it again, I was sort of probably 40% into the bank. So yeah, I'm hoping that should be done by the end of the month, I would think.
Nice.
Are any of your banks deep fried?
No, they're not, but I can do them deep fried. Like everything else in Scotland, we can do everything deep fried.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Well, there
It'd
we
be
go.
better than that pizza I had tonight.
Oh dear.
It
just-
tasted
I've
like
had deep fried pizza.
honestly, it tasted like she hadn't even bothered taking it out of the box. Freaking awful.
Are you blaming the cook or the product? Or both?
Oh, I'll blame her.
I'll blame her. We just
'Cause
got, we
apparently
just,
it was
we just
a
joined
really nice
air
pizza.
fry generation.
Yeah,
We've
this
been
is
talking
she's
about
still
it.
learning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been talking about
Yeah.
it for ages, and then Lidl in the middle of Lidl, they were knocking out Salter 9-litre air fryers for pretty much no money.
We'll tell her to
So-
watch out because they go from absolutely useless to surface of the sun. In just a slight, you just turn it a tiny, tiny little bit, and then you just go, oh, well, that's more charcoal for the art office.
They're good.
Yep.
They're good.
We shall spend some time getting used to that. Anyway,
Yeah.
Air fryers aside, welcome one and all. Thank you for joining us. We've got some things to get through. We've got some interesting discussion topics, which we'll save for just a little bit later. But first of all, what I want to do is give a shout out to my friend Mickey in Ireland, who bought a T-shirt and sent a picture in. This is what we like you to do. If you buy stuff, take pictures of it with you wearing it or doing, the thing that is supposed to be done with it. And there he is in his loft with his stuff. And
Nice set of boards behind him.
yeah, it's a Fusion. I think it's a Jupiter X or XM. I know he's got an SY85. I think that's on the top shelf. I think underneath that is the HS60.
There's a
Yeah, cool.
synthesizer there.
And on the left, I believe that's my old CS1X that I sold him many years ago.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
And a
there's the Bond-
keyboard.
Yeah. And natty blue trainers.
They are rather nutty, aren't they?
Well done, Mickey. Thank you very much indeed for that. Of course, if you buy some merchandise and it's a wearable, or maybe it's something for the dog or something you can drink from, take pictures, send it in. We love to see those kinds of things. Shall we start off with a little bit of a funny? This popped up on Tinternet the other day, and it just had me in fits. It's synthesizer related. I need to first of all black out the screen and then play you this. This is just hilarious.
Ciao!
The Italian synthesizer. Honestly, it sounds like a family conversation.
Ciao!
That was just.
It was the hand gesture at the end.
Yeah.
Ciao!
I can never. I mean, I've seen that gesture all my life, but every time I see that now, I just think of not Inglourious Bastards. Or is it? Yeah, it is Inglourious Bastards. When the Americans are pretending to be Italians and they're talking, all he does is he just goes like this. Brilliant. What's he pointing? You laugh and point.
I thought my wife was on the phone.
Yeah. It's true. That was a Centrix, by the way, doing an Italian patch. There you go.
Wow.
You know you didn't black out the screen.
I did.
We saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You saw the video.
Oh right. So gotcha now. Now I understand. Sorry.
That would be a weird form of censorship.
I'm having a really bad week so far, aren't I? Mm-hmm.
Get in the queue.
Okay. Anyway, nice bit of fun. If you ever see anything funny on the internet that's synthesizer related, do share it with us. Again, that's a great reason for following us on social media. You can share stuff with
My
us
workshop
there.
pub.
And yeah. So
I do.
let's move on. We've got some interesting discussion stuff about your home studio and your creative space. I want to ask some questions, and there was an interesting thought that was posted up by Panic Girl earlier today, actually, that Andrew highlighted, and we'll have a talk about that as well. But before we do, we've also got an exclusive screening of the new video by our very dear friend and supporter of, well, since day one, Ian J. Cole. He's got a new album out, and he sent me the video, and we've also got 10 free codes to download the album for nothing. So we will give those 10 free codes away somehow. I haven't had a chance to think about how, but we will at some point during the show. Or thereafter, but we've got 10 codes to give away. And Ian, thank you very much for sending in the video for us to play. That will eat up a little bit of time on the slow news week, and thank you for the freebies, but we'll tell you all about that a little bit later on. But first of all, there's been a little bit of news. Let's have a listen to the promo for the brand new Rob Papen synthesizer.
Hello, Rob Papen here, and let me introduce you to WirePluck. WirePluck allows you to create new synthesizer plug sounds and more. And no, the focus is not recreating real acoustic instruments, but creating new inspirational plug and synth sounds. The user interface has been laid out on the main screen in a way that allows for fast editing using the most important parameters. At the heart of WirePluck are 3 layers, each composed of 4 selectable source syntheses: wire, string, FM, and wave. Next to adjusting the 3 layers, you can also adjust the FX section with a distortion module. Modulation effects like chorus, flanger, and others, stereo delay, and of course, our top-notch reverb. Then there is global LFO control, and you can select one of the many different ARP presets in case the ARP is active or if you would like to activate it on a preset without the ARP.
So it goes on a little bit there, but it's an interesting video nonetheless. Rob's been around for bloomin' ages and has created some of the best plug-in synthesizers and other effects and so on and so forth, even rack extensions for a reason. This is the new one. When I first saw this, I kind of just it just passed me. No, that doesn't look interesting, because 2002 phoned me up and said, can they have their plug-in interface back? Because it is a little bit plain and basic, which might be a good thing, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But this is slightly different. It's using Carplus Strong and a few other bits, but he's kind of emphasizing that it's not just another physical modeling synthesizer. It does seem to have that. I like those bright, plucky sounds, hence why I'm a big fan of DX and FM and all that kind of stuff. But this is kind of nice and interesting, and it's very cheap. It's €49 or $49. It's not expensive at all. Andrew, I know you got a little bit moist about the gusset when you saw this one. Have you managed to purchase it? Had it go with it at all? Or
I've had a very quick try of it, a freebie download just to try it out. I really love Rob, and I love what he does, and I love his sounds. And I really like this. This is actually doing something quite brilliant. Just on the pluck side and the string side, it's doing something that I was hoping for from lots of other people in terms of the sound. But you're right. It is. Another of my really good friends that's a sound designer, been around forever. He just said it's looking tired now, and that's not the most elegant of designs. You can't immediately see what's going on. The graphic user interfaces that are being used by everyone else are making this look a little old. And I wonder if I think he should. If he wants to and has got the time, I would heartily suggest he refreshes all these UIs, because they're not the most pleasant to work with. You're kind of doing what, where, how. So, but the sound of it is astonishing. He could also do with refreshing his effects bundle, just having a stereo delay, and it's just, it feels like it's the sound engine at the top has been bundled in, and it's a great sound engine. I really like it and I want to use it, but it's going to be a pain compared to some of the others that are out there, just in terms of the design. So I wish Rob all the success in the world. I love what he does. This looks a little tired.
Yeah, Amanda said in the chat that the UI looks almost the same between the different layer types. There's no real clear distinction between the different things, and all it would take was just slightly different shades of grey, or some other simple, not too flashy colours.
Well, either faders or some sort of drawable waveform, or a waveform, envelopes, and just something that shows you what's going on for each of those things. It feels very old-fashioned. It just does. It's not immediately obvious, and it's not a glance at it and see what's going on.
Yeah, but as you say, it does. I like what I hear of it.
It's astonishing.
Just not entirely sure. I would look at this and think, I'm probably just going to just mess around with presets. Talking of which, I mean, Scott, could you see yourself designing sounds for this thing? Does the synthesis engine inspire you at all?
I had a quick look at it today, and I'm a big Pluck fan as well. So the thing that I did like about it was that the string synthesis, which I think is quite a new thing that he said that was in there, albeit that he's already said that he's not trying to mimic acoustic instruments. It sounds really interesting, and I think that the fact that you've got the 3 layers with the 4 different synthesis per layer, I think you could come up with some really interesting stuff with it.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet. I probably will download the demo and see what the effects. Yeah, if they're dated, then there's always a way around that. I suppose you could just use your own plugins and things over the top. But ideally nowadays with these plugins, it's good if you do get the sort of decent effects to have them in there and saved per patch, and then it just keeps things nice and tidy. But yeah, to me, listening to the demo, it did sound really nice. I've got to go for sure. Because I love plucks. It's just plucks. And I see that he's added in as well. I think it's a pitch envelope on the FM, which is very unusual.
Yeah, he's doing great things, and he always has. His stuff is always very good. I just think that there's so much competition out there that you need to be able to stand out, not just sonically, but also practically from a UI perspective. That doesn't grab me, and it doesn't inspire me to kind of like, I could really dig into that. I mean, you take a look at and I'm not comparing them, but I'm just saying, if you look at the interface of Halogen FM, the new GeForce instrument, which is just like the complete opposite, that kind of invites you in. You can see what's going on, and everything's clearly defined. It uses color coding. That's a really interesting UI, whereas this is very utilitarian and practical and plain, and maybe that's good for some people. I don't know. I'm not dissing the sound. It's just could be inspired. Kent, what do you think? Any thoughts on this?
Well, funnily enough, when if you're scoring, what it looks like doesn't really come into it. And these things get used, multiple instances. And to be honest with you, if it's the old effects, it doesn't really matter, because you just turn them off and you just put different effects on the line anyway. Whether it's a 480 XL or whatever you want to use on it. So it's that core sound. And at the end of the day, I suppose that's what's really important, is what is actually the actual sounds it's doing. But I get the whole sort of like, oh my God, they used to look like this in 2001 kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I've got loads of Rob's stuff, and I will almost certainly get this and add it to the collection as well. But when doing the scores, what it looks like and all the rest of it, it doesn't really enter into it.
No.
But as using it in a more minimalist way, in standalone kind of environment, where you're just using one or two instruments, yeah, it could do with a bit more of a kind of element added to it, I suppose. Yeah. But in that sort of like work environment, and you've got 115 bleeding tracks that you're dealing with to put the whole score together, you're not bothered about what it looks like, as long as it's delivering the sound. So that's probably where his thought, where he's coming from with that. But yeah, I agree with everything else, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if we look at the this is the main interface here. Look, it's clear. It's laid out, in a sensible fashion. You're not going to, you can see where everything is. It just doesn't seem, it seems a bit fussy and doesn't, invite you in. Wait till you get to the bank manager page, because then it gets really odd, which I'm not entirely sure if, that's quite,
I think it might be that case of things. When you get a car. And the guy's a brilliant designer, but he doesn't drive. Do you know what I mean? That it's that kind of scenario where he's good at one particular thing, but needs somebody else to come in and sort of like, mate, this needs, sprucing up.
Well, he's to be fair, he creates a lot of music and he's created a lot of synths. I think he's just stuck on this. So the design, the front panel design with the grey knobs, with the lighting around the outside, which shows how much, that's really good design in a piece of hardware which is 3D, whereas you're looking over and round it, you get a sense of where everything is. A lit knob, it looks and works well in a 3D environment, in a real environment. In this environment, it's too flat and there's too many things to look at and kind of squint. Very tiring. I find it very tiring. So I think they just need to, he needs to think about getting a little more graphical with it. And you're right, that advanced window just looks mental, know. I get it. It's nice to have.
Yeah.
Well, they all look like that, don't they? They all have that exact kind of.
But that's been going on for 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, let's kind of go off on one. So that's Rob Papen's WirePluck. You can get it from robpapen.com, and it's €49 or $49. It sounds really, really nice. So if you can get past the UI, then you should be golden.
Let's just deal with that, because do get if you can get past the UI. As Scott said, the string synth, the string part of it, and the plucks are both actually doing something that no one else has done. It's sonic territory that no one's really explored in the same way, and it's worth it for that. It's worth every penny for that.
And there's a free demo version.
Yeah,
so
and if you've got a control interface, fine.
Yeah, but try it, absolutely.
Do.
It kind of brings me on to one of our discussion topics, which kind of ties in nicely with this. The interfaces that we get nowadays with plugins, plug-in instruments, or even plug-in effects, I don't know, sometimes you get these really wacky ones that work, like Halogen FM, for example, and then other times you get stuff like this which you think, oh god, it's great, but it doesn't work for me visually. We went through a phase where everything was very skeuomorphic, everything looked like a piece of hardware. I remember having discussions with Propellerhead when it was known as Propellerhead. They wanted everyone to design rack extensions with a 3D interface, even though they weren't viewable in 3D, because I think somewhere down the line they were thinking that maybe we could move things around and have a look at it. But so I'm just going to... Very distracting there. So yeah, it's
sorry about that.
We had this kind of skeuomorphic thing, and then everyone went flat design. Everything was like no depth. It was just very, very flat, very prime colors and all this kind of stuff. And then we get stuff like this, and I mean, does it really matter what these things look like? do we like skeuomorphic? Do we like flat? What is the best kind of interface? Or is the interface inextricably linked to the synthesizer engine and the way that it makes its stuff? I mean, if you think about FM synthesis, a lot of it's based on numbers and stuff, so it doesn't necessarily lend itself to a skeuomorphic interface. But you think about CS80, and it looks wonderful if it's done like Arturia have done it. I don't know, Scott, what do you think? What as far as interfaces?
From interface wise, I think the one that pulled me in the most was Serum.
Oh.
I loved the way that Serum, the way it's laid out, it's so clear. You can see everything that's going on, and albeit it does have these little lights that Andrew was mentioning above and the thing I like about that is if you've got a modulation sending to the pitch of something else in Serum, that line that's above, say you're sending it to the pitch of oscillator 1, you can actually see that little light go back and forward. So at an instant glance, you're looking at the screen, you can actually see which things are actually being modulated by what.
Exactly that, yeah.
And it's such a really intuitive sort of work. The GUI on it is just, it's instant, it's obvious. And like Andrew was saying, if you want to go in and draw in various wave shapes, you just double click on the waves that are at the top there, and you just create your own wavetables.
Yeah,
it's just so intuitive the way that they've done that. And the mod matrix, same thing. It's so easy to do.
One of my favourite software synthesizers is Arturia Pigments.
Right. Okay. I've never really played with that too much, actually.
It's very visual and very colour based, and I kind of like that. Appeals to me. That kind of colour. You can have it in black or white, but this it's very instantly. You can see exactly. So all these little pieces across the middle here. So your LFOs, your keyboard modulations, everything is moving and showing you exactly what it's doing in a visual sense. And to me, that's really informative and really helpful to understand what's going on in a patch. So for me, that's a pretty flat design. There's no skeuomorphism going in there because it was always a software synth. Whereas, when you get to synthesizers or plugins that replicate old synths, like the CS80 or the the Oberheims, any of that stuff, you can get away with being a bit skeuomorphic because people want to see that thing that they're that they're using. I don't know. Ken, what do you reckon?
I'm actually the opposite, would you believe? I need the bastards off the screen. Right? When you're doing a piece and it's say like 40 tracks, and you've got all these instruments out, and you have to keep closing. And if there was a program, maybe there is a program, I haven't really looked yet, but a program where when you load up instruments, effects panels, and all that sort of thing, they can be sort of like organised in a little box in the corner with just little versions of them, and just be able to click on the one you want to come out when you want to make an adjustment.
Cubase has that built in, Ken. Cubase has that built in.
Yeah, but there are certain things it won't load in. But yeah, it does have it built in. But even so, I can have like 80 different windows up. It's like I can't even see the door now, and it's like, if it looks pretty and all the rest of it, okay, fine. As long as I don't give a monkeys. If it's doing the job it was designed to do, fine. But you get these things where you can have an instrument when its default window size is sort of like, how much room have you got? Kind of like this, and it's like, oh God, I don't need it this big, So I'm kind of almost anti the window, the presentation of the plugins. I'm sort of like, I don't want to see it. I just want to use it and then go away and get out of my way. I'm trying to work, kind of scenario. But like I say, when you get up to when we get to Ty's neck of the woods, where you're doing like 1,200 tracks, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You don't give a monkey what it looks like. You just want to adjust that instrument and then piss off out of it.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember a little while back we spoke about a synthesizer that was coming up. It was called Sway, and it's essentially a remake of the Yamaha SY77-99. and it claims full compatibility. And it's the first time I've seen a plugin emulating, rather than just using samples of aforementioned instruments. This is actually emulating the engines, the FM and the AWM engines that were the sonic powerhouse behind those two synths. And again, this is obviously a sample and FM based synth, and this is the FM screen. I think this is great, clean design. It doesn't need to be anything more than this, because as we know, FM is a very mathematical way of doing stuff. Although, and as Manny will probably tell us in the chat, Dr. Channing himself said, programming FM is an ear thing. But when it comes to messing with the parameters of FM, this is very nice and very clean, and I'm really looking forward to this. Just to throw this in there, we are now approaching a beta stage for this. It's been a little bit delayed. He did hope to have it out by September of last year, but it's taken a little longer. It's one guy doing this, and we will have a beta version soon. And then, if you want to hear some of the demos, it's there. The website has also changed as well. So it was on his musician-based website, because he is also a musician as well. But I'll just throw the new website into the chat if you want to go and check this out. And you can sign up for a newsletter. And
could we get him onto the show?
Yeah, I've been in touch with Dennis since last June, talking about this, and so the invite is there, but I know he's very busy. But this is a really nice kind of design, very simple, very clean, uses colors so that exactly operator 6 is that kind of bright turquoisey color, and you can instantly see where you are. Waveforms nice and clean. I like that kind of stuff. I like it, but also I do like pretty things as well. So there are some very pretty synths out there.
So talking about just generally this Kent raises a very interesting point. For some people, they're just going to fill their screens with a bazillion different plugins. Personally, I kind of shy away from doing that. What I used to do that all the time, but now I tend to work with something and get close to it, commit to it, and then I'll freeze it or render it out, freeze it, close that track down and the plugin, but it's there if I need to get back to it. That way I only have the thing, because George Martin was when I heard Strawberry Fields at Air Studio on the original multi-tracks, hearing how he committed to stuff, and I said to him, how could you have made those decisions at that time? He said, because we had to. And once you commit to something, you find another way, creative way, and you get used to filtering what you can and can't have in. And I think that's kind of what you do with these things. If you end up with 80 different plugins on at the same time, I understand 80 tracks or 100 tracks or 200 tracks, but 80 plugins, you're just using too many at one time, and it's killing your system, and it's killing your ability to discern and commit. Yeah. And then it's about the design of the actual plugins themselves. And all the examples you've pointed at, Robbie, those are exactly the kinds of designs I like as well. If you're going to have it on screen, make it so that what you're doing, as Kent said, what you're doing when you move something, you see the reaction, you see what it's doing to the waveform, so you have a direct correlation between what you're drawing and what's happening up there. It's a great way of doing it. Rob needs to look at that.
What was it? I was going to say something completely out of my head.
Sorry.
I know. I was going to say we speak to the Cherry Audio guys very regularly on this show, and we speak to them, especially with Mal and previously with Mitchell, who I spoke with today, and he sends everyone his love, and he's going to be coming on the show as a guest in his own right fairly soon. He's enjoying his retirement. So when we speak to those guys about the GUI design and all the things that they had to consider, what was it? The last Cherry Audio instrument had thousands of different elements, and all of those elements have a function, and all of those functions take up CPU cycles. and you can get so bogged down in making this thing look good and making it practical that it actually affects the sonic performance because of the GUI.
But I think from the GUI point of view, they kind of they're in a different space. I mean, along with GeForce, in that they are replicating. So the last thing they did was the 2800, wasn't it? The ODC 2800. So it's essentially an Odyssey, and everyone knows, or most people have seen it, know what it's like. So you're starting from a position where you know what the interface is. So there's a degree of familiarity and lots of stuff that you can reference back to. With complete software synths which don't have any reference to existing legacy products, which is what Rob is, essentially, and others, you've got to find another way to breed that familiarity. Rob's done it in the past by having the same interface all the way through. Now it's time, just given what's been going on for the last few years, it's time to sort of take a look at that and go, you know what, there's a better, more comprehensible way, logical way of doing this that will give people a better experience.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, there you go. That drew things out quite nicely. I like that. But we were originally talking about Rob Papen's new synth, and it's called WirePluck. It's available from robpapen.com. Free demo, and it costs $49, 49 euros. And of course,
great sounds.
Yeah, really good sounds. And there you go. Anyway, let's talk about something new and different. Let's talk about what the Bob Moog Foundation are up to in a couple of weeks' time, a few weeks' time. They are staging a Synth Legends event on the anniversary of Dr. Moog's passing. So this is a very special event. It's a Synth Legends Symposium featuring these 5 geniuses. You've got Dr. Bob Moog, Tom Oberheim, Dave Smith, Marcus Ryle, and of course the great Roger Lynn. This event happened in Los Angeles on April 19th, 2005. 20 years ago this happened. But it was recorded. It's not the greatest of quality, Michelle was telling me. It's good, but it's not, Blu-ray quality. It was distributed on DVD in very limited quantities. But this is the first time that this video will be available in its entirety, with as orally and visually enhanced as it possibly can be from the source materials. This will be going out on the anniversary of Bob's passing, which is August 21st at 8 o'clock in the evening Eastern Time in the US. It'll take place on their YouTube channel, and the event is being made possible by some of the sponsors of the Bob Moog Foundation, such as Moog Music, Sequential and Oberheim, Spectrasonics, Arturia, Korg, Roland, Cherry Audio, GeForce, Ilio, Rosensound and Softtube. So please go and subscribe to the Bob Moog Foundation YouTube channel, as well as going and visiting their site, and you can buy t-shirts. They're doing merch, so please do buy some merchandise from the store. These were designed by the great Axel Hartman, who's a former guest on the show, and pre-orders will be available, or they're already available, and they will be available through to August 25th. That's going to be I've never seen this, so this is going to be a really cool event to sit down and watch and take in. 5 great pioneers of musical or synth, electronic musical instruments. Thoughts, anyone?
Yeah, it'll be a good watch, that one. That's for sure. That's on. I've got that jotted in the calendar, that one. But
yeah, definitely bookmark.
It'll be a very interesting watch.
Cool.
And sadly, not all of them are here now as well, so it'll be very good to watch.
Yeah, there's only 3 of them left. So.
Yeah,
it's good. Because this was actually filmed about 4 months before Bob passed away. So this is probably the last time, I think, because I was talking to Michelle the other day. I think she said, and I'm sure if Michelle is in the chat or Craig normally sits and lurks in there, pretty sure this was the last time he appeared on camera. And he was diagnosed just a few days after. And then passed
That's very interesting that it was that close. And also, you said it's low quality. I seem to recall.
Well, it says low quality. It's not Blu-ray quality. It's not 1080p
Well,
or anything like that.
I've spent all of this week up-resing SD quality video to 4K because it was a need for a specific project. So if they, at some point, there's probably not time between now and release, but if at some point they want to up-res it, get in touch.
I think they've done what
I'll
they
help
can
them.
with it. I'm pretty sure that's what Michelle said. They've done what they can. So
Okay,
I'm sure
but the offer's there.
So yeah, go and bookmark that on your YouTube page. You can go and learn more about it at the Moog Foundation website, which I'm just about to post the link into the chat. So there it goes. But please do go and subscribe to the channel. Go and watch that, and you can then, of course, buy merchandise, including the t-shirts. How much are the t-shirts? 27 quid for the t-shirts. Let me just throw that up on the screen.
Isn't it nice? I always love hearing Bob talk. He has such a laconic way with him.
Yeah, nice t-shirts as well. Quite like those.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the
So I'll be
signatures.
getting one of those.
Yeah, classic Axel design. Really nice, clean, simple.
Yeah.
See, there's a guy who knows how to design stuff, but then he has made a considerable living from doing that very thing, and he does hardware and software, so he does know what he's on about.
Yeah.
Let's get back on the show. It was a very interesting show. If you want to go and watch our interview with Axel Hartman, then make sure you go to our channel page, which is just youtube.com/@ProSynth Network, and you'll find our interview with Axel on there. We've also interviewed Marcus Ryle. Unfortunately, we never got around to interviewing Bob or Mr. Smith because I think Dave passed not long after. Well, he might have been going a couple of years, and we hadn't quite worked up to that level, God level of stuff. Obviously, Bob passed quite a way before, and I have tried to get Tom, but Tom is of an age and a stage in his life where he just wants to kind of maybe kick back.
I love the story Richard Hilton tells of when he drove up there to buy a Moog off him at the house.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Yeah, it was one of the original RAs, wasn't it, Kent?
I believe it was. The lucky little bugger.
From his shed.
Wow.
That's a story, isn't it? That's...
Well, exactly.
We'd all like a mini Moog in our shed at one point, wouldn't we?
So on an
dear.
RA.
Indeed. Anyway, please do go and support the Bob Moog Foundation. They are very good friends of ours. They come on frequently. We feature them frequently. You can donate to them right here. There's the contribute link on the screen. And you can also become a member of the Bob Moog Foundation. That helps raise some funds for them.
Yay.
And they also have an online shop as well as the t-shirts. You can find all sorts of wonderful things. And again, happy to convey the news that after, of course, all the horrible weather events that took place in and around Asheville in North Carolina, there was hurricanes and all sorts of flooding and destruction going on. There were concerning times, not just for the Bob Moog Foundation, which is based there in Asheville, but for other organisations and companies in the area. Michelle was very happy to report that they've recently kind of got past that and are now sort of back into good, more positive financial territory. So it's such a knife edge that they sit on, these organisations. Bob Moog Foundation, the Alan R. Perlman Foundation, exactly the same. All sorts of things kind of thrown at them, and they have to duck and dive and weave, and they still carry on. And it's admirable that they do, and it's through the support of us and others. When I say us, I mean the community as a whole, through donations and buying tickets for raffles and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So they're carrying out great work. Do please support them. It's very important that you do. As I was talking to somebody, because these people, as Bob proved, albeit very sadly, that these people aren't around forever, and we need to make the most of them. So anyway, there we go. by Moog Foundation. August 21st is when that is being broadcast. There's
Let's do a
something
watch
new.
party. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do a watch party, yeah. There is something new from Behringer. It looks like every week they're going to release another one of their Moog clones. This time it's the ring modulator. This was a very interesting one in the original form, and this one is supposedly much the same. I think we do have a little... We'll play a little bit of the introductory video. Let's do it.
Here we have one of the most elusive and strange creatures in the sonic world. A rare and peculiar species, it thrives in the hands of the adventurous. Merciless in its approach, it takes innocent sounds and twists them into metallic, alien creations. Welcome, Behringer BM-12 ring modulator. Yeah, this is an odd one. It's sound unlike any other. Metallic, otherworldly, it can transform melodies and chords into something completely new. The ring modulator is a sonic disruptor, a creative force, and one of the most mysterious effects in music. It's a creation that bridges the world of synth and guitar to create uniquely fascinating textures and sounds. But where did this curious creation come from? To understand the ring modulator, we need to go back, way back. The ring modulator wasn't originally intended for the music world. It was born in a lab, designed to be used in radio and telecommunications. But it wouldn't be long before its sonic potential was realised. One of the first moments the world heard ring modulation was in 1963, with the voice of the Daleks in Doctor Who. Exterminate! Alien and menacing, it was a sound that made its way into the sweet, sweet nightmares of the baby boomers. And that was just the beginning.
And there we go. You can watch it. It's a very long video. It tells you all about it. Interesting. I like the fact that these pedals that aren't made anymore originally and were commanding rather high prices are now being made at a much more affordable price. I think this is about $120 for the ring modulator. So nice to see them back, and they're clearly very, very close to the originals. Our resident ring modulator expert, Mr. Swan Vester, over there in the bottom right-hand corner.
Repairing
ring
them.
modulators, are they a force for good or a force for evil?
Used correctly, they're bloody gorgeous. Actually, I must admit, I was falling asleep here, waiting for him to say the word Moog.
Yeah.
At some point in the video. So, yeah, but there you go. Yeah, so, yeah, the ring mod. It can be very, very musical. It can be very, very destructive. It's up to you how you use it.
Yeah.
So, will this sound like, those old ones of yore? No, because not even the new ones that they did sound like the old ones of yore, so it doesn't matter. But, like we said before, the thing about what Behringer are doing, they presenting these things and creating them and giving them to today's generation at a price that they can afford without having to sell the car.
Yeah.
Which was what we would have to do back in the day, So,
yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, it's good. I mean, yeah, doing the biz, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you like your ring being modulated, Andrew?
Well, curiously, yes, I do. I was delighted when Yamaha modulated my ring with a new update.
I thought you were more an exhaust man myself.
Well, yeah, I was coming to that because the back end of these things, getting to the holes at the back of these things, brings me to this particular ring mod, which it was the world's most boring video. They never mention Moog, and they should do. I just wish they'd give some kudos. But the most interesting thing about this is not the front panel, it's what's on the back, which is a whole swathe of CV control ins and outs, so that you can control, there we go, you can control the rate, the frequency, the amount. You've got LFO outs, audio ins. You've got all sorts of stuff there, carrier and out, that would allow you to control it using a Euro rack or any number of other things. That suddenly makes this really, really powerful. That suddenly makes this a really powerful thing. I don't know what's the price on this, Robbie?
About 129, I think it is.
Well, 129. You can probably get a Euro one for around about the same, but this looks reasonably good. The fact that it's got the plugs on the back allowing you to control it directly from something else makes it much more usable, even more usable. And but I've got this, so I don't, I can bring audio in and do what I want with the cross mod on this. It's cheap. It will do the job. You can control it. The controllers are very interesting. Yeah. Why didn't they say Moog? Why? Just once. Just say
they're not going to for risk of getting their wrist slapped or just being
Well, everyone knows it's a Moog. They can at least say this was.
It doesn't need saying then because
No,
everyone knows
I suppose at the end of the day, it doesn't it? But like I say, the modern ones compared to the original, the original modular module, the difference is being anally explored by a knitting needle as opposed to being anally explored by an electricity pylon. That's the kind of difference between the original and the modern ones. Essentially.
I don't know how his brain goes there.
My brain goes places even I don't want it to go.
Difference between a Range Rover and a Reliant Robin. Yeah, I know what you mean.
119 euros is the normal price, but currently on offer over at Thomann. We have no links or affiliations. We won't get any credit for this, but I just called it up. There it was, 99 euros.
Wow.
Let's have a look, see what that is in good old British pounds and pence. Because that's 85.
And you see, for a lot of people, this will add something sonically that they simply don't have elsewhere. So if you've got lots of pedals, it would be a good thing. If you've got a Euro rack thing, you're doing EMOMs, this could be a good, with the plug outs on the back, this could be a good thing to have.
Yeah, I'm sure. Were you ever into the Moog, Scott?
Not massively. I've got the software versions of them. I bought the Ring Mod. I kind of like. I think if it's used right, it sounds good. Other than that, I just find that it's good for like sound effects and what it was used for, like so the Daleks and things like that. It can get pretty crazy. But dialed in right, it can sound real. I suppose it's a little bit like exponential and linear FM in an analog synth. It can just go absolutely haywire. But if you just find that little sweet spot with it, it's like wow.
Yeah.
And if you can control the frequency so that whatever you're playing through it is being
tracked,
drawn to whatever the key being tracked.
Yes,
that suddenly makes it mad up.
Exactly. It's great for like bell sounds and adding these little sparkles and stuff on the top of bells. Yeah. But that's only if you can track the pitch to the keybed. Yeah.
So not bad for 85 quid.
It is pretty good.
And they seem to be knocking one out every week. So we'll see what happens next week. I know. Yeah. What a pile of wank. So anyway, we are now gone past the top of the hour. We've got less than half of the show to go. And we're not doing too bad. We've got some nice discussion topics to come up.
Let's have a yawning competition then.
What I want to do now is play our exclusive video that we've got. This is not a Synthspirations video, but our friend, all-time great supporter of the channel and lovely chap too, Ian J. Cole, said to me the other day, he said, if you're a bit light on topics, would you mind playing the video? I said, no, of course I wouldn't mind at all. And he said, thank you. And here are 10 free codes for people to have this for them. So what I'm going to do, this is literally off the top of my head. If you can email me right now, the first 10 correct responses in email will get a free code. I think that's a pretty simple way of doing it. But you'll have to be quick because I'm really busy for the next couple of weeks. So I need to get these out either now or you'll have to wait a little while. But
You said correct responses, which implies a question.
it implies a question, which is now coming.
Aha.
Could you tell me? Let's see. Let's find the question here. Let's see.
Ian's shoe size.
Yes, Ian's shoe size. But we need Ian to tell us the answer.
Well, he can do that secretly.
He could. Yeah, there you go. Guess. Ian, you've got my email address. Send me your shoe size. And if the first 10 people to get the correct shoe size and send it to prosynthnetwork@gmail.com.
I'm
I'll
glad I
send you
didn't
a
go
code.
for my original idea then.
I'll
Easy.
send you, I'll send you a code. I'll send you a code if you can tell me Ian J. Cole's shoe size.
When
Nice and
flaccid.
simple. prosynthnetwork@gmail.com is the address. Send it to that. Let me just type that in to the chat. prosynthnetwork@gmail.
So, You say shoe size. There's American shoe size, European shoe
UK.
size, and
He's in the UK. It's
shoe
a UK
size.
shoe size. Yeah.
Righty-ho.
So prosynthnetwork@gmail.com. The first 10 answers that come into my inbox that are correct will get a copy. If nobody gets it, I'll just maybe hand them out willy-nilly. I don't know. Maybe I'll just hand them out to the people that bothered entering the competition. I don't know. We've got free stuff we need to give away and need to give it away quickly. So there we go. Has Ian actually said he has? Let's see how. Wow. That's interesting.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe I wish I had gone for my first suggestion.
Basically, Ian's got no feet. Ian doesn't have feet. He hovers ever so slightly off the ground. No,
Oh.
He does. Yeah, he does.
I
He does.
have
Yeah.
a shoe size. It's a number. First
And like
10.
like the TARDIS, his shoes on the inside are bigger than they are on the outside. Yep.
Oh, blimey. Wow. We've already had. Wow. Jeez. Nobody's
Kissing-
got it yet, though.
At Kissing the Machine, he says, you know what they say about men with big feet? It's not true.
Yeah. No. They don't all wear waistcoats.
Look, no waistcoat.
Oh, no. We've had some close ones, but no cigars yet. So keep them coming in. Nobody's got it right. And look, you can enter multiple times. I don't care. Let's get 10 people get it right. There we go.
Give us a clue, Ian. Go on,
He
give
says
them a clue.
he's 6
6
foot tall.
foot tall, yeah.
There you go.
What's Kent's hair colour in hex?
A7.
What's the Pantone number?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
I think this is middle-aged twanky, I believe.
Middle-aged twank. Yeah, you
Yeah.
look a bit like Ian, what's his name? McKellen?
Yeah?
No, still nobody got it. So
Wow.
Wow.
Has he got ridiculously tiny monkey feet or something?
wow, it's a shoe size. It's not an
He
uncommon.
can't if he's 6 foot tall because he would just fall over, wouldn't he?
He would. Well, listen.
If he had size 3 feet.
As I'm frequently as I'm frequently told, size isn't everything. Ian's shoe size, he's what, 6 foot?
Yeah.
I'm 5'6" in my stockinged feet, and I have exactly the same shoe size. So height's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, but you're about 30... Is it about 37% penguin? Anyway, so...
I need the extra support.
Yeah.
I need that lateral support.
Yeah.
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 Still haven't had. Still
Have you not
haven't
had a
the correct
single-
answer. Lots of people. Thank you to. I'll name you all. To Matt Evans, Simon Tucker, Scott McAuley's had a go.
That's just in another go again now.
Dina Perlman is having a go. William English, thank you very much. Steve Sims, Sean Murgatroyd, John Carter, Nick Hay, and Amanda. Amanda's had a couple of goes, and unfortunately, neither of them are correct. So keep trying. We'll see if we can get some correct things, and see if we can give this album away. Let's see. Scott McAuley's had another sound. We've had a first one. We've had our first one. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want them to divulge.
Someone's correctly said 5.
So let's have a look. Let me see
Or
if I can
pronounced
get you
it
a
correctly.
code. Let me get you a code. I've got a code here. So here we go. Here's the code. Let's just make sure I get the right one.
Because it is the camera, haven't I?
Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's do. Thank you very much. Nice bit of product placement there. You sent them as an image. I was trying to copy the text. I can't copy the text. Right, I'm going to have to type this out, aren't I?
Oh, God, yeah, and I've got the poster as well now. Look.
Well
You
done.
have. Yeah.
See?
So, Steve, there
Amanda's
we go.
just going through the numbers.
Yes, you did. To win a copy of our lovely friend Mr. What's his name, Ian Cole's album.
What's his name?
Freebie. There's 10 being given away. You have to email Robbie. The address is above here in the chat.
ProSynthNetwork@gmail.com.
With a guess as to Ian's UK shoe size. Go.
That's all it's got to be. And we have had our first winner. I am now emailing them the code so I don't forget. Let's do that there. Why do you?
And then they'll know that they got it right.
They'll know they've got it right, but please don't divulge.
Wagyu did get Kent's hex hair colour correct.
There we go.
Should he get one as well?
No, you've got to answer the question.
Okay.
Answer the question. That's all we need. Right. Okay. Well, let's
tried,
now
Wagyu.
give
I
people
tried.
time to guess Ian's shoe size. We've had one winner already. We've got 9 more codes to give away. But while we do that, let's listen and watch the new video. This is from Ian's album. If I share this screen, I won't be divulging Ian's shoe size on there at all. This is from the new album, which is called. Is it? No, it's not called that, is it? That's the title.
96th day of the year.
Is that the album? Yeah, it is. 96th day of the year is the album. The track that we're going to play is That First Gentle Touch. So let me just line this all up, and we'll be good to go. So add a video file. First Gentle Touch. Ladies and gentlemen, bear witness to a lovely piece of music and a lovely video to accompany it. I will take everyone off the screen and we'll sit back and watch. We'll be back in about, what is this now? About 7 or 8 minutes, I think. Yeah. So enjoy this and we'll be back and hopefully we'll have some more prize winners. It's rather nice, that, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
Nice.
Indeed. Ian J. Cole, thank you very much indeed. We have had a total of 2 winners. Andy Morris, I must applaud your tactic. It worked. You start low, and then you just email and email and email until you get it, and you got it. Loads of emails, literally a whole thing there. Andy Morris, bless you, you got it. You got it in the end. Gerard Hughes, our very own Jer Hughes, who provides us with some wonderful sample instruments for our Patreons and YouTube channel members. You're wrong. I'm sorry. Eric, you're wrong. Simon, still wrong. Richard Morley, wrong. John Carter, wrong. Amanda, still no. Got it there. Yes, you can answer more than once. This is silly. We're just giving away codes to an album that I think is really good. We don't want to make it too difficult. Scott McAuley, yeah, you're wrong in so many ways. Nick Hague, wrong. Simon Tucker again, wrong. Blimey, Simon. I mean, I know he's 6 foot tall, but wow, clown shoes. Sean Murgatroyd, no. That's Kissing the Machine, by the way. No. Steve Sims, no. William English, no. So let's see if we've had any more come in. No, still nothing there. So still 8 codes to give away. So keep trying, everyone. But that was from the album. Let's bring it up on screen. First of all, let's just get rid of the video. There we go. And then we can add this back in. And this is the album here. It's out on Sinners Music, which of course is Ian's own label. It's called 96th Day of the Year. The track you heard there was track number 8, That First Gentle Touch. You can buy the entire discography of Sinners Music at the moment for £98.80. That's 35% off. You could subscribe for a mere £3 UK, and you get everything, all the new Sinners Music releases, including this release and 23 back catalogue releases, just for a mere £3 a month. You can also buy the compact disc. There's an edition of 50 white label compact discs. They're £7 each. Or you can buy the album for a £5, or you can guess Ian's shoe size, and if you get it right, you'll get there. Nick Hague, no, sorry, no go. Simon Tucker, still missing it. Jet, you're still missing it, mate. So's Amanda. Sorry, Scott, yours isn't working either. No. I think
still trying.
Gerard is now doing Andy Morris's trick, I think, and just basically going up and up and up and up and just send.
So the 96th day of the year, is that April the 7th? Am I right in thinking
I don't know.
that?
Is there significance to that, Ian? Tell us in the chat. Go on. Our very own Synth Jesus, Jeffrey Derry. Wrong. All the way from Canada. Wrong. Sorry. Blimey. Gerard's doing half sizes now. Wow. 6th of April, apparently. Is there a significance behind that?
6th. There we go.
But hang on a minute. It's the 96th day of the year, but is it a leap year?
In which case it would be the 5th.
97th.
In which case it would be the 5th of...
No,
5th of April, wouldn't it?
Yeah. 97th day. Anyway,
no.
People, keep trying.
Anyway.
We've eaten so much time there. Let's spend the last half hour talking rubbish. No, let's talk about some interesting topics here. So I sat down and thought, well, what could we talk about that's interesting? And our lovely friend Mark Barnes, we have a lot of lovely friends on this show. He's another one. If you want some Mark Barnes sounds for your synthesizer, get over to our Patreon page. Mark Barnes sent me this. So this is the owner's manual for an O2R version 2 mixer, which I have one of these in storage. And I got it at a really, really good price. And the plan was to make it the centerpiece of the studio, but I stupidly didn't realize how big it is. It's a bit of a beast.
I had one for a long time. They're very good though, Robbie. They're very good. I
Yeah.
had one for a long time.
Yeah, really good. And this one came with loads of expansion cards, and I managed to find a meter bridge for it that was really affordable.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, so I've got the whole thing with all of these extra analog and digital cards and everything. And I forgot how big it was, and because when the guy said I've got an O2R, I was thinking of the 01V, which is the smaller one.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
was-
yeah.
So when I said to Jackie, she goes, "How big is this thing?" I said, "Oh, it's only about like this, like this, like this." You know, it's like, it's not very big. And then we pulled up in the car park, and I met my friend Robert, who sold it to me, and he opens the back of his estate car, and it's full because he's got the original box and everything. I'm like, oh God, what have I done? But it was a really good price, so I carried it up. I went through the sale. And so anyway, Mark sent me this because Mark used to have one of these, and I didn't get a manual with mine. He said, "Oh, would you like this? I'll send it to you." So thank you so much, Mark, for sending this through to me. It's really useful to have a proper paper manual. What it's inspired me to do is to get the O2R out, because I think where the Matrix Brute is currently sitting, I can move that over and put the O2R kind of in the middle at the back there. So I am thinking about doing this on my time off over the next couple of weeks.
Does it have the TC Unity card in it, Rob?
It doesn't.
That's worth trying to get your hands on if you can.
Yeah.
That's superb.
I read also that was kind of locked down with a code, and there were ways of getting around, because it was, I don't know, Mark was telling me about it. I think he had it on his, but he said exactly the same.
Yeah,
that
it was
it's
so
absolutely
good.
worth getting. Yeah, I don't think it's got it in there. I'm pretty sure, but he said if you find one, you have to have a code to activate the card. And there is a way now, because obviously those codes are no longer available, there is a way of kind of bypassing that. But we'll see. But what it got me thinking is, how do people route their audio around their home studios? I mean, at the moment, I do this thing where I've got an audio interface with a ton of inputs, and there's many synthesizers I can get into that I will get in. I've got some ADAT expansions for it as well. But I can't get everything, all the way around. So I have various submixers. I have little sort of 8 or 16 channel mixers dotted around the place, and then I take 2 outputs from that and send that to the audio interface. But it's not perfect, but it means I can get the sounds in and out, and that's all I'm really worried about. So I was wondering how people wire their studios up for audio. And also, then I thought, well, how about MIDI? Because again, MIDI's are all these cables going around. Do you use MIDI interfaces with lots of inputs? Do you use wireless MIDI? Because I use some of that around here as well. Do you use USB? Are you using synths that have USB, and then maybe you've just got a single USB cable going to a USB hub, and you plug all your synths into that? And then Andrew pointed out this Facebook post from Panic Girl, or Marta Barr is her name. And let me just see if I can throw this on screen. She says, does the space you're working in influence your creativity? She's still trying to figure out her ideal studio layout, since she prefers to keep the gear she's working with close at hand, which means she often needs to rearrange the setup. I could relate to that as well. So I thought, well, this would be an interesting thing to talk about, how we and maybe our viewers are setting up their studios. Do you set your studio up to be transient? Do you set spaces up within your studio that you can then bring instruments in as and when you want to? Or do you have them all hardwired into racks and they stay exactly where they are and you control from maybe a central keyboard? Do you use a large mixer to bring all of your audio into your computer? Do you even use a computer? Is it all just analog? So I just thought it'd be interesting, just to see what we all use, because I mean, we've all got extensive collections of gear in and around us. How do we do it, and also how our audience do it? So please do let us know in the chat what you're using. And it'll be interesting to see. We might all learn something. Scott, I'm going to come to you first, because you're still our newbie, our little guest down the bottom there. So it's only polite that we come to you first. You've got a stonking amount of gear in there. How do you connect all of that? And do you find you're moving stuff around based on what you're working on.
Basically, the way that I've got mine set up, which I've been down the O2R route and things like that in the past, but I'd always felt mixers, they took up too much space as far as I was concerned for what they'd done. And when I moved to UAD, I started using the UAD system, and the first one I bought was the UAD Apollo 8P, which gave us initially 8 of the Unison preamps in that 1U rack mount box. And then I bought the little desktop Apollo Twin, which allowed me to control that via a console, which I've got my big screen up. If I turn my camera around this way, my console always, oh, it's going to look at me now. That's this Osbo. Always runs up on this screen above my monitor. Okay. So basically the big screen that I've got above my head is, that is my mixer, theoretically. Right. And the way that I run it, I've now got, as the years have gone on, I got ADAT expansions initially I got one ADAT expansion because with the Apollo systems, you can add one additional 8 input expansion in per unit. So I bought a Focusrite Claret Octapre, connected that via ADAT, which then took me from the 8 to 16. Then I had my Apollo Twin, which I could also connect another 8 in. So I got a Focusrite Dynamic, Octapre Dynamic to go into the Twin, which gave me another 8 to go into that. Yeah. And then as time's gone on and my synth collection built, I ended up buying another 8P and another Octapre. And I've also got the Apollo 8 as well with another Octapre going into that. So basically everything mixer-wise for me is all in my desk, as in the seating desk that I sat at. It's got like a couple of rack slots on either side of this desk. It's just like one of these workstations. And I think all in now I've got like, it's somewhere in between 55 and 65 inputs, something like that.
Wow.
And it's all done through my desk and this console that's up on the screen, which is great. So basically everything, more or less everything in the studio is hardwired. There's the odd keyboard at the back there. I just bought like looms. That I do everything, all my MIDI and all my audio I do through looms, like multi-core. Mm-hmm. So all my audio cables are all just in one multi-core with 16 in, 16 out, and it goes up through the attic from the back of the studio here and back down at the back of this desk and feeds into the back of them. And it's the same with my racks on either side. And my MIDI cables are all Neutrik multi-cores as well. So it kind of keeps all the cabling tidy. And audio-wise, everything goes into these Focusrites or the UAD. MIDI-wise, I've got 3 Motu 128, the MIDI Express 128s. So there's 2 in my desk here, which gives me 8 ins and 8 outs MIDI-wise per 1U rack. And I've got one in the back cupboard behind me here as well. I've got which carries the MIDI from these back keyboards forward and into here so that everything's MIDI'd up as well. I stepped away from USB, and it's one worth noting for everyone. And I know Jamie Morden had the same problem, that with USB, if you have keyboards plugged in via a powered USB hub, sometimes USB hubs spike. And Jamie Morden had the same problem, and it fried a Waldorf synth of his. Eesh. I had the same with my Prophet 6. Luckily, it didn't fry the whole synth, but what it did do was it fried the MIDI processors in it. So I had to get that. Thankfully, sequential being sequential, they said, look, it's not in the manual, but really we prefer you to use MIDI rather than USB, or if you're going to use USB, just use it straight into the computer rather than through a powered hub.
Right.
But because of that, and it wasn't in the manual, they said, look, we'll cover the cost of that. We'll get it shipped away and cover it under warranty, which was really good of them. And yeah, my friend Mike had the same problem with a Prophet Rev 2. So be very careful. It's maybe even worth checking with manufacturers before you put in synths into powered hubs. Albeit it's so easy because when you plug a USB in, it's all named in your computer and it's all great, but it can cause quite a bit of damage if you're not aware.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, that's a very complex system that you've got going there, but it clearly does the trick. I mean, like I said, I've got a an Arturia Audio Fuse 16 rig, which has a ton of inputs and outputs on the back, and I've also expanded it with the ADAT expanders. Gives me another 8 ins, another 8 outs. But even I'm getting close to the limit.
Maxing it out, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, well, do I get another one and then just create an aggregate device within the Mac, or do I get something a bit bigger? I don't know. I use these little sub mixers around the room, but I got to a point where I just thought, I can't have all of this. I'd love to have exactly like you. I'm sat here going, oh, I wish I could do that. I wish. That was always my dream, is to have everything like on, connected,
and usable
audio, and usable. Yeah. And now I've just got to the point where it didn't make sense for me to do that, and so space was more of an issue. So I thought, right, I'll create storage space, and I do something like what Panic Girl does, and I have 2 or 3 stands that are in front of that I will bring stuff off the shelves if I want to play with that particular synth. Like the other day, Kent was messing around with a Juno 106, and I thought, I haven't played with mine for a little while. Juno 106 this is. So I just took the one off the stand, took the Juno 106 off the shelf, put the other one back on the stand in its place, and that, it took me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's all connected, and I can play it, and it's all MIDI'd up, so I can mess around with it. And this is where wireless MIDI, for me, is a great boon, because that's one set of cables I don't have to worry about if I don't need to, because I can just plug a WIDI device into the back.
Yeah.
And it's there. And if I want to mess around with it, it's there, because it works. So that's my thing. Andrew, I mean, I know you've not got a huge amount set up in there, but maybe,
I have.
We don't see it. We don't see it. How do you connect yours?
Well, curiously, because I've left at the studio, I had the 1820 ADAT, 1820 Focusrite Claret, Scarlet rather, and I still have the Alesis HD 24, which has 24 balanced ins and 24 balanced outs. It's 24-bit, 48K, and it's got 3 lots of ADAT in and out, so 3 lots of 8. So I'd use that with this, and then the EMU Platinum also had 16 in, 16 out on ADAT, plus I think 8 or 10 in and out on analog as well. So I did everything through those. Now I'm back here. Martha's original sort of question was, how do you find your workspace? Well, because I'm having to configure this, you can see here, I'm doing a lot of software synth design. So I'm just going to add this to the stage. There we go. Let's just solo that for a second. So you can see I'm using this to do all of the attack, sustain, decay, all the envelopes, the tuning, that kind of thing. I can switch between different things. So this makes it very easy to control stuff remotely. Let's just get rid of that because I don't want it there, and bring me back up. So it changes depending on what I'm working with. And what I have realized is that now that I'm based from home, I'm going to be plugging up a whole bunch of different things. So I've got a MIDI Sport 8x8 MIDI, which I really need, and I've got like 3 of these. So in common with Scott, I've found USB to be a bit of a naughty mistress. It doesn't play nicely always, so I avoid using USB except for audio transfers straight to the computer and back. So this is going straight in and straight out, and so does that, but that's it. And even then sometimes they play pretty nastily, and I like having control more directly. So I've also got I've got a little sub mixer here at the moment that I'm using, a little Soundcraft thing. So I mean, I changed this layout, and I'm going to be doing changes at the moment every few weeks, because I've just got different things that I'm working on and different things I want to be the focus of what I'm doing. So the audio routing, also down here, let me show you this. Oh, down here I've got, here you go. So I've got the Focusrite, and then I've got two old Samsung mixers, 16 channel mixers, 16:2 or 16:4:2, and those are pretty good. They're pretty noiseless. They need a bit more of a service again, but they are pretty noiseless, balanced ins and outs. So I've got plenty to route the audio round for the moment, and essentially, as long as I've got one of those close by, either side of the studio, then it will just all route into that little puppy, the 1820, and that gives me everything I need, and everything else is wired. Everything is wired, just because I find mostly that multiple USB audio and or MIDI inputs just start causing all sorts of problems. So everything is wired directly. So I've got multiple outputs from this, from the XL7, from the Phantom, from the various different Sonicware things, from my other EMU bits and pieces. I've got a lot of stuff in here, but it tends to be hardwired in, but it's changing literally every week depending on what I'm working on.
I realise I've done something pretty irresponsible here, and I might end up regretting this little feature. You see, Kent has this issue where he likes to tear his entire studio down and put it all back together again because it's not working for him. And I'm
every
thinking,
week.
And I'm thinking, all I've done right now is give this man ideas and impetus to go and do that all again. Which we don't want you to do, because you
it was on the cards anyway. No.
Come on, tell us about your setup.
The thing that I found out from working with synthesizers that have been damaged from surging and all the rest of it, the one thing I knew I had to have, and that's core. It never changes. I ran my own fuse from the box and ran the mains up here, separate from the house, so don't get any of that when the washing machine changes and all that bollocks. And then they go into 3 or 4 of these multi-way plugs that are they're rack-mounted surge and spike protectors. They're not cheap, but gnaws the stuff in here. So and that, those girls keep everything under control. So I've never had USB spikes or anything like that, because all the power supplies for the USB hubs go into the suppressed strip plugs. So that's the core. That never changes. As for the rest of it, it depends on what day it is, doesn't it? So one thing I had started doing was, because I have so many keyboards, I have like a stand. I use that stand, and if there's one particular keyboard I want to use, I dig it out of the cupboard, or the office, or the bedroom, or under the stairs in the kitchen, or downstairs toilet, or the hall, or the shed, or the workshop, or the garage. Bring it in. Oh, and the attic. There's about 12. There's about 12 synthesizers up in the attic. Don't. Bring down said keyboard, set it up, and there's always cables ready to a couple of channels on the X32. Plonk it in and either play it or plug in the MIDI or the USB that's sitting there for it. And so this is very much a flexible design, as it were. So
Scotty, can I ask you, because you do a lot of sound design as well, do you find you have to rewire? Do you find you change your setup to work with software based stuff, or for different hardware? Do you find yourself moving things around so that when you're designing sound?
Basically, the way that I've got it set up, Andrew, is like where my OBX8 is just now to my right here. That is kind of my working station. So anything that I'm going to program and do a bank for, I'll take off the stand and sit on this one, which has got the aerial camera directly above it and the lights and things for when I do my demo videos. This comes back down to me. So yeah, this tends to be where my working station is, and then I'll take whatever synth out that I'm working on, sit it here, and then it just goes back on the stand. But everything else it's hardwired and stays where it is, and it just goes back where it was as well. The Polybrute at the moment usually sits on the bottom shelf of the one at the back there, but it's through in a little tutorial room that I've got next door for when I do my online tutorials and stuff. But apart from that one, yeah, that one does come and go, and it's on like a little wheeled stand that I can just move from studio back into that room if need be. Rather than having to lift the thing because I'm lazy. It's quite a weight. That Polybrute 12 is quite a weight. It's not an easy synth to move around. Yeah, and I'm always wary that I chap the wood or something on it, and do some
Or break a
damage.
key.
Or break a key. Yeah.
Pussy.
Yeah, but it's funny because we all, as we, from when we were younger and wanted and aspired towards all of this, what we really wanted was a room full of keyboards so we could do the Rick Wakeman, the sort of, be able to do that.
Yeah.
Although we never actually did. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
All of that. And we just wanted stacks of stuff. And I found myself more and more going, stacks of stuff. No. Having done it, everyone I know does it and builds up to a point, and then there comes a point for most people where you just go, enough. Just give me one or two controllers, and then everything else. It's really funny how you kind of go through these phases.
Yeah.
And it's more about
I
being able
went
to
through
control.
that phase. I went and sold all my analog gear off and went completely in the box with one decent controller. But I missed the analog gear, and that's why I ended up getting back in. And really, the main reason that I've got as much as I have is just to be able to sort of cater for as many people as I can with the sound banks. They're like tools of the job, really. It's just so that I can kind of cover from mega expensive synths down to the cheaper side. So I can kind of cover everyone, really. That's why I've got so many.
And for any kind of sound design, you want to have controls, direct hand-on controls.
Yes,
straight away.
Well, it's like when people say to me, they said, what kind of keyboard stands do you use? And I go, B&Q. Because they're all kitchen tops.
Yeah.
They're really, really strong. They don't bend or flex.
Amanda was asking in the chat about shelving. And I've had this question a number of times. And I had a chat with someone, and they said, these catering shelves. Now, I got mine from a company here in the UK. I think they're just drop shippers. So these are all made in China or somewhere, and they just drop ship them in. I've seen these in people's rooms all around the world. So they're pretty much a straightforward design, but it's just catering shelves, and they can take a heck of a weight. So you can put. I've got one there that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 synthesizers. All of bar 3 are 61 key synthesizers. There's also like stacks of small boxes on there as well, and it's solid and it doesn't sag, and then you can just go on, put it on the stand. For me, in this space, I don't have the luxury of space, and so that really works. So if you're look at catering shelves, because they're generally a good option because they need to be strong.
Those IKEA shelves that Jarvis has got, Jason's got in his, I looked for them, but they don't make them anymore. I think they make a similar type thing, but it's not as flexible as that one that Jason's got. They're really good, and they can hold a fair amount of weight as well. They're very good.
Well, I did once buy a Azor studio desk at a premium. Cost a bloody fortune, this thing is. And it just pissed me off within a couple of weeks. I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. I've been looking at getting a carpenter in to just build what I need. And it's not a lot more, it's around about the same as going and getting one of those really expensive things, except you get exactly what you need. So I'm just wondering if that's, for me, to do this main bit where my computer and screens are, I need to put another screen up there and a few other bits, more cameras. I'm just thinking get a carpenter in to actually build something that I can really use. And also that I can put rack gear in here. So it's already inserted. So
I find it's dangerous to tie yourself down.
Well, I let my wife do that.
Well, yeah, but you have to pay her as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but because I like
Tuppence.
I like this free range kind of vibe. I think.
I mean, I bought a desk with rack capability in it. It's got 9 U's of rack space, 3, 3, and 3, and I thought, oh, this is going to be brilliant. I could put a whole bunch of stuff in there, and I did, and then realised that the sliding tray for my controller, because of the way the desk is designed, the rack stuff is angled downwards, and so as my controller goes in, it's hitting the bottom of these racks. So therefore, then I had to really think about the placement of the rack so that the shallower stuff was at the bottom, and the deeper stuff at the top. Yeah. And so I've now, I've managed to kind of do it. It could be better, but at least I don't keep cracking my knees on my keyboard shelf. But the stuff that you see, I saw a brilliant desk at Superbooth where it had a massive empty space, and then you had enough space for an 88 key controller, and then left and right you had, I forget how many U's of rack space there. That looked amazing, but it was 4 figures. It was not cheap.
No, they're
and
not.
I couldn't fit a desk like that in here anyway. So we're constrained. I just want to throw a quick poll up in the chat. This is on the YouTube chat, because we were talking about, say, Kent was fixing a Juno 106 the other day, and I really like the Juno 106. I was very lucky to get one, and
I love it.
I just wanted to know which Juno people loved, because there was I think that we had a little debate on one of the pubs, one of the workshop pubs, which was the best Juno, and was it the 6, was it the 60, was it the 106? And I'm going to keep it to those original 3s.
Alpha.
That's why I would say the Alpha. Yeah, the Alpha needs to be in there.
Alpha. Can I can't amend the poll.
Alpha 2.
Oh, shall I do another poll?
No, I mean you're doing like the analog end of it, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, the 106 is
for me, out of the 60, the 6, and the 106, it's a 60 every time.
Yeah.
I don't want an upright piano. I want a grand.
Yeah.
I've got an Alpha Juno 2 up on the top of that back tier there with the little D-Tronics programmer with it.
Yeah.
And the thing that lets the Alpha Juno down is the fact that it's not a resonant filter. That is the big thing that lets it down. Like, as far as sort of timbers, and it can do so much more than the other Junos, and obviously it has that stupid membrane panel on the front of it, but I think tone-wise, it can smoke the lot of them. It's just the fact of that non-resonant filter just let it down.
Andrew?
106 every day of the week. I love the 60, and I love the even like the 6, but the 106, and I use the Junos as well, the Alphas. The 106 just had a sound to it for pads. I used it on so many tracks, and the pad sounds, the kind of stringy, cello-y, horny, all of that kind of stuff, it just sat really well, and it was really easy to conjure up a sound, save it, and that's you done. I still love the sound of that thing. I understand why people prefer the 60, but the 106, just every day of the week.
Well, I mean, for a while, people were buying up the HS60s because it was no, I don't want the one with the speakers in. It's an organ. No, it's a 106, mate.
I always call Mickey's HS60s Bon Tempi because it does look like one.
Yeah.
Glenn says here, I hated working on the Alphas because something in them would attract cockroaches.
Roaches.
Roaches.
No, roaches.
Was it cockroaches or was it roaches?
I don't
roaches?
Know. Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's quadras. So we've had it confirmed. Yes, it was a packet of heroin in the quadra.
Yeah. Oh wow. My unpopular opinion is I didn't like the Junos, but if I had to pick, it would be the 60. I mean, if anyone knows, Glenn would. I have to say I have a soft spot for the 106 because that's what I've got, and as Andrew says, for pad sounds, brass sounds, kind of string sounds, bass sounds, it's a classic mid-80s synthesizer, but it's missing the arpeggiator. And for me, that's why I think, as much as I love the 106, I think the 60 is probably peak Juno of the original trilogy. And of course, you've got the Roland Cloud.
Well, that's
version
why it
or-
commands more money than the other two, anyway.
Exactly, yeah. And it's got
I,
good
I,
intakes as well.
I never wanted the arpeggiator on it. I never wanted it. I wanted to play it. Didn't want an arpeggiator. And if I wanted an arpeggiator, I had Cubase and I could use a
You
MIDI
could, yeah,
arpeggiator.
absolutely.
It's,
True enough, yeah.
Yeah.
it was, yeah. I love the 106.
But what do our pollsters think? Oh, I think we're... Okay, we've had 39 votes on it, and we're going to end the poll now. The 106 won with 50% of the vote. The
Wow.
60 came in with 37 and the 6 with 12. That's 40 votes. That's a nice little straw poll right there.
It's like James Dyson
Mind
says,
you, what-
the Jupiter 6. I mean, I can't stand the Jupiter 6.
I like it.
But I'm coming
I
from
love
it
it.
from a very weird... I'm not coming from a sound point of view. I'm coming from a have to work on the
Yeah.
Yeah.
point of
I
view.
love the 6.
Yeah.
And I love the MKS-80, which was based on it as well.
Yeah.
But what I love most about all of the Junos is that it's very, very, very difficult to make a bad sound on. They seem to be sitting in this lovely little sweet spot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter where you go, either side. You get something that's good and interesting, which I really, really
Something that Roland were really, really good at.
like. Exactly.
For,
That was
for
their,
a couple of decades, they were
their
nailing
classic
it.
period.
And
Yeah.
and as a session player, if you could you turn up at the studio with a keyboard, always take a 106 back in the day, because no matter what they asked you for, it would take you seconds to get something. We want something funky. No, we want it with a bit more filter, a bit more wah. We want something that's sort of horny. So we want whatever it was. You had the confidence that it was going to be there and work straight away. It would take seconds, and I think it was a real good bread and butter synth, really good, and it sat. Yeah.
Well,
And the
interesting
chorus,
discussion.
the chorus was great
yeah,
on
the
them
chorus
as well.
was-
eh?
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Especially if you get the two together.
Can't get those chips for
quite
love nor
special.
money now.
Do you know? Honestly, yes.
I don't think it's better. I think it's different.
It's different, but I like I preferred it because it had all this other stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's sort of
Anyway,
like a more up-to-date digital version of the JP8.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that.
it gave you stuff that the other girl couldn't.
Indeed.
Yeah, and much as I loved it,
Yeah, we're overrun. I just want to say thank you to Steve. Thank you very much. Alarm clock fund for Kent, $4.99. Matt Evans, Kent needs a new clock crystal installing. This is very true. And this one tickled me. Kissing the machine. Tell a 20-year-old me that I'd enjoy a Friday night in guessing someone's shoe size. It's why people keep coming back and staying.
Kissing,
thank
it
you,
could have been so
Sean.
much worse.
Yeah. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Matt, for those wonderful donations. Loads of
welcome.
comments.
By the way, sorry. Welcome to the pediatric shoe network. There we go.
What the hell's the
Pediatric children?
What's the
podiatrist? There we go.
Yes.
What the hell's a Podiac?
Podiac.
It's an American sports car, isn't it?
It's an American
Yeah.
sports car made by somebody with a cold. Podiac.
It's my Podiac.
Loads of people in the chat with their various configurations. Let's see if we can whiz through some of them. Audio engineer, 2 Motu 8x8 MIDI routers for their MIDI. Wagyu, synth into Patch Bay, into Behringer S16, into Behringer Wing. Compact is my new way. And yes, so other bits and bobs in there. Glenn Darcy, just brilliant to have you in the chat, Glenn. Thanks for joining. For MIDI and MMRC from Conductive Labs with the expander. Amanda says her studio is way too small, but I can't make room bigger, so I need to move things around a lot. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean says I've got 6 channel mixers and happy that it limits me to how many synths I've got hooked up at any one time. So that's a creative choice.
Yeah.
And, limitations
Yeah.
are. Matt Evans, pre-Sonus 1810C with an ADA 8200 ADAT with everything plumbed in all the time, but then he doesn't have a massive amount of stuff. Kosh is a bit like me, stereo synths into the AF16 rig. ADAT AF8 pre's for mono synths. Ian's setup is hardwired into his Tascam 24-channel mixer. He's going to buy an iConnectivity Mio XL this year for MIDI. Glenn again says, I bring everything to a patch bay. This is obviously for audio. Then I have 32 channels of Arturia Audio Fuse 8 pre's as the front to an RME Digiface USB. The Wookiee Yamaha O1V, we mentioned one of those earlier, via ADAT to Claret pre-USBs, MIDI mount 8x8. Reset reboot, sorry. I'm very simple in my routing. A Mookie mixer to route audio to my Deluge, then a Zoom L6 for MIDI, a CME UMIDI 6. Nice little units, those boxes.
Yeah.
Let's see if I've got some other ones here. Steve, I have my main keyboard routed to Yamaha MJC8 MIDI router and patches to send to all synths. Then all audio feeds to a Behringer mixer for audio, and then to Rodecaster and a PC Mac. Carl, who has a massive studio, 36 synths and effects, all hardwired, MIDI connected and audio patched into SSL Big 6, into SSL 18, and 2 SSL Alpha 8 ADAT expansions. MIDI all into 2 iConnectivity XL Mios, 3 patch bays, and lots of snakes.
Impressive, that one.
Two Mios.
You should see his studio. Mickey D in Ireland. I used 2 Behringer RX1602 mixes after I suggested it, apparently. Going into a Focusrite Scarlett 18i8. So I've got 4 of those RX1602s. They're not the best things in the world. They're a little noisy, but they just do the job, and they do it for a very affordable price.
Yeah.
Simon, now I know Simon's setup is pretty comprehensive. 8 synths to an Allen Heath SQ5 mixer into an RME interface, Cubase soft synths and mastering effects, RME Act 2 multi-mastering outboards and a master recorder, and monitors from the recorder, and uses his MAX as his master MIDI keyboard. So I mean, thank you ever so much for all of your input, and thank you Dina Perlman, who did
Dina Perlman.
Dina won a code. She got his shoe size.
Well done, Dina.
Hey.
Yeah. So let me see. I think we had 3 winners. So I've got 7 more codes to give away. If you want to carry on guessing Ian J. Cole's shoe size, I've got 7 more codes. The next 7 people that can guess it will get a code, but I can't guarantee I'll get you that code too quickly because I'm on my Ollibobs.
They could DM it into the Facebook channel. That way they come on to the Facebook group, DM you there. The first 7 that turn up in the Facebook group get it.
Could do. I said I just haven't got time to set anything. This is why I was just doing email. We'll see. But
We'll
please do. prosynthnetwork@gmail.com. If you can guess Ian's shoe size, I'll send you a code. We've got 7 left. So do let us know. Thanks Dina for the gifting of the membership. I don't know who has taken that, but it'd be interesting to know. If you want to become a YouTube member, it's the same as becoming a Patreon member. You get all the free benefits and stuff, and you support the channel, which is fantastic. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you for everyone's comments and input. You've once again enabled us to fill 2 hours of absolute waffle. But I hope you found it kind of interesting and inspiring, and maybe you'll go off and rewire your studios. Kent, sit down on your hands. Don't do a thing. Thank you also to Simon.
I'm too tired.
Good. And Simon has just reminded us that the Stafford EMOM is a live stream tomorrow night on his YouTube channel with Movement 81, Andy and Grace, Get Jervis, our very own, Darren Teahouse, and more.
Cool.
I do believe, unfortunately, that Jim Glue has had to pull out of that, and our deepest condolences to you, Jim. Jim lost his father
mate.
just the other day.
Thinking about you, Jim.
Really sorry to hear
Thinking
that,
of you,
and
mate.
love to you and your family. I hope everything is cool, and so thanks for that, and we will see. Well, I won't, but these guys. Scott, are you available next week?
And actually, I should be. I would think.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I know Jason's going to be here, so maybe we'll have a falls up. But I'm not going to be here next week, so I absolve myself of any consequences from next week's show. But do tune in, same time, same place, to have 2 hours of waffle and conversation about stuff that you might be interested in. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time, hopefully nicely refreshed.
Send some inspirations in so we can cover some gaps next week.
Yeah, there you go. Send some. If we get more than one, we can maybe do a couple. I don't know. Maybe we need to save them and spread them out. But
If each of them is an hour, that would be fine.
Yeah, 2 hour long ones. But thanks ever so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the show. We certainly did. Thank you to Scott coming in again. It's great to have you on board. Thank you to Kent. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you to Andrew for your input as well. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks' time. These guys will see you in 7 days. Until then, have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Go and watch all the other live streams. Go and watch the Stafford EMOM as well. Don't forget there's the Bob Moog Foundation stream on the 21st. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.
Have a good break, Robbie.
I will. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, do.
Cool. Take care.
Enjoy your time out. Cheers.
See you
Bye.
later. Bye.
Take care.